We aim high, we aim to rise, and every vision that's real is analyzed. Till every fight in my bones has been applied. Every thought I'ma lose will be denied. Dedicated to the cause. I'm back, I'm reborn, that's facts. Now take back what's yours. Rose from the floods. With one breath, the exhale was left. I'm back to show love. What you recommend is what you represent. Gotta fight with a cause for the innocents. That's the mission in, is what we visioning. Everything stops on the drop, cause we listen when 143, 143 speaks. 143, 143 speaks. 143, 143 speaks. From the streets to the most elite. Now who's got the guts to last? I'm in line next. Who's got the guts to pass? I'm in direct. Who can convince the class? Ain't no time left. Welcome to the journey of the mindset.
What's going on, world family? It's your boy Donald Jones, and welcome to season 3 of Journey of the Mindset. This is episode 1, season 3. So if you have not checked out season 2 or season 1, you need to go back because there's amazing information in there. So listen, season 3 is amazing. Half of it is already pre-recorded. Some of it is not. I have been spending a lot of time working on the structure and the restructure more so of where the podcast is going. And I love where I see in the vision that I'm seeing for where the podcast is going. So I'm definitely excited about that. I have some amazing guests for you guys for season 3. I am truly excited. I want to share this. It's been a year since Journey of the Mindset, the podcast, has started. And it thrived. It did very well, given the spite of the pandemic. I was able to transition over from the face-to-face interviews to Zoom. So some of the episodes that you're going to see on Journey of the Mindset Season 3, because there started to become a spike and a surge in COVID, I decided to do majority of the interviews on Zoom. So you'll see a lot of that. But being something that was so new and the world literally just stopped, I got stuck for a second, and I'm saying to myself, what am I going to do? What am I going to do with this? Where am I going to go with this? Should I just stop and just wait for the pandemic to go? If I would have stopped, I would have waited a whole entire year. I mean, the pandemic is not even over. We got the vaccine out. But I would have waited a whole entire year. And let me tell you what I would have missed out on. I would have missed out on all of the amazing interviews and interactions that I was able to have with people. The guests that I am able to get to the podcast, it's not me just saying, hey, you know what, I want to get everybody that I possibly can on here. No, these people are hand selected. I learn their story. I vibe with them. I talk with them. I get to know them. I get to know a lot more about them before they even come onto the podcast. So I don't want anyone to think that I'm just grabbing people and just saying, hey, you know what, come on to the podcast. No, I really want to bring some valuable information back to the listeners and the followers of Journey of the Mindset. So I say that to say this. I am more than excited about season 3. Season 1 and season 2 was simply amazing. And one thing that I've learned going back and listening to those podcasts and watching them on YouTube, I see my growth. I see from my interviewing, I see from the way I'm interacting with people on camera, I can see the growth. And every season, it gets better and better and better. My mind starts to unravel things that I've been wanting to create for so long. And this platform is giving me the opportunity to take all of that creation and all of those things that I've ever wanted to take out of me and make it a reality. And I'm excited. Like I said, season 1 and season 2 was amazing. If you didn't get a chance to check it out, go back and check it out. But season 3 is a little different. Season 3, we're still telling the stories. We're still meeting with people and they're telling us about their journeys. But what's different about season 3 is that the stories go a little bit more in depth to the person's struggle. And then it goes a little bit more in depth into what the person is doing now. So those are some of the things that I've seen that I've grown with my interviewing skills over the past 2 seasons, is that now I'm able to get a little bit more detail out of people, and I know a little bit more so what I'm doing when I'm answering the questions. So I just wanted to rub that in your face real fast, and I wanted you guys to marinate about season 3 and the guests that are coming on. It's going to be something that's going to be amazing. It's going to be something that's going to be great as far as I'm concerned. Anything that I do, anything that I touch, I always want to say it's amazing because that's what I go in there and that's what I believe. Anytime you're going into a project, anytime that you're working, you're doing something, or you're starting a new journey, I want you to always go into it with that mindset of, you know what, I am the best at doing this and I'm going to get the job accomplished no matter what. That's what I say to myself. And I want to say this. On your journey, as some of you may know that's already on your journey, you're going to experience and learn so many different things. You're going to meet different people. You're going to read things that you've never thought about reading before. And let me share this for you, with you all, is that when I started my journey, all I wanted to do was be a speaker. That's it. Yeah, I was in a bad space, a bad mental space. I was fighting with depression. I really didn't have myself together financially. I was hiding my real self, my true self from the world. I was going through all of that. But when I got to the point where I said, you know what, I want to change, I wanted to share my story. And all I wanted to do, and you can listen to this on season 1, episode 1, but all I wanted to do was be a speaker. I reached out to my mentor and I wanted to be a speaker. And being around him, he exposed me to so much more. He showed me so much more. I never knew that being a speaker would open up these doors to different things, that I would be connecting with different people, that I would be in places that I never thought that I would be in before. Your journey is about information. So if you're on your journey and you're saying, hey, you know what? I'm on this journey of self-discovery because I want to feel better. Better comes with the information that you gather, the books that you open, the people that you interact with, the conversations that you have, the relationships that you create. That's what's going to open up your mind. And when you start thinking differently, meaning that you're not as critical on yourself and you're not as critical on others. I'm going to say that again. When you start thinking differently, you stop being so critical on yourself and you stop being so critical to others. And what happens is this. Whenever you find yourself getting into a confrontation, whenever you find yourself becoming stressed, overwhelmed, or dealing with a situation that's been lingering on your mind for quite some time, you start to look at that situation from different point of views. It's no longer that tunnel vision of, you know what, this situation is upsetting me, it's pissing me off. No, it's, why is this happening? How can I confront this? And you start looking at it from different point of views. You'll even start to see your interactions with other people, when you're having conversations with other people, be different. Somebody pisses you off because they stepped on your shoes, or somebody pisses you off because they ate your food inside of the refrigerator when you clearly had a sign on there saying don't eat it. And you just go off on the whole house. Or you just go off with your coworkers. When you start opening up books, when you start reaching out for resources, tools, people to guide you on your journey, you start to move differently. What used to piss you off, it'll still piss you off, but you'll be able to confront it differently. Now, how do you get a person out of bed? Somebody that's sad, somebody that life has beat them up, somebody that just can't see the light at the end of the tunnel at the moment. You constantly keep on encouraging them. And if you are that person, be your own cheerleader. Encourage yourself. What's in your head that you're saying that's keeping you down, I want you to try to reverse that. I want you to try to reverse that and say, you know what? Today's going to be a good day. If I get out of bed today, I would like to accomplish 1, 2, and 3. Set some goals for the day for yourself. Set some goals. Those cloudy moments is something that I will never forget. You only have, it feels like maybe 60 seconds before they start barrowing in your head. The moment that you wake up and you open your eyes, you have 60 seconds before everything just start hitting you in your head. And then you start to think about all of the things that you don't want to do that day. All of the things that get on your nerve. And those are the thoughts that's going to keep you inside of bed. Those are the thoughts and the words that's going to say, hey, you know what? You're not feeling well today. You're sad. Stay in bed. I want you to try to play with those words. I want you to try to reverse that. I want you to say, hey, you know what? I'm great. I'm feeling down today. I'm feeling sad today. But you know what? I at least want to accomplish one goal, and I think I can do that. And your first step out of bed, I want you to say good job. Your second step out of bed, I want you to say good job. After you get out the shower, you get dressed, I want you to say, you know what? Good job. I want to give you a bonus right now. I'm going to treat you to breakfast. And treat yourself to breakfast. Treat yourself to lunch. Treat yourself to a movie. Treat yourself to yoga. But taking that first step is the thing that's most important. Taking that first step and saying, hey, you know what? Breathing. Getting it out of you. Controlling your energy. Acknowledging what you're feeling. But saying, hey, you know what? I'm going to set at least one goal today that I know that I will be able to accomplish. And as you're on your journey to accomplishing that goal, and that goal can be anything. You getting out of bed could be a goal. You being able to go to sit down at a coffee shop can be a goal. Some things are hard for people. But as you're doing it, I want you to be your biggest cheerleader. And I want you to start talking to yourself and saying to yourself in your head, great job. You did a good job. Oh, I know you can handle this. These are the things that for my listeners, that I have to say to myself every day on an everyday basis. I'm going to tell you another secret about myself. I hate being in crowds. Anybody that's ever dated me, I don't like to be in supermarkets. You could take me to a Costco or BJ's, I will rush you out of there. Or what I'll keep on doing is walking away from you because I just need air. I don't like being in crowds. But yet, I am a public speaker. How does this work? I don't like being in crowds, but yet, I am a public speaker. I'll tell you what happened to me one time. I had the opportunity to talk at my high school. And this is something that I never in my life thought that I would ever be able to do. The opportunity came up. My mentor called me up and said, hey, guess what? I'm going to be speaking at your high school, your old high school. Would you like to come? I'm like, yeah. And then when I got there, he said, you know what? I'm going to talk, but I'm going to cut my conversation down a little short, and I want you to talk. This is your school. I want you to be able to talk. And I was, what? I was just amazed. And I remember me standing in front of the stage as all of these students start pouring into the auditorium. And I'm sitting there, and my palms are getting sweaty. I'm like, oh my God, am I scared to speak? And then it dawned on me. It had nothing to do with me being scared to speak. It was just too many damn people in one room for me. Too many. But I did a good job. I challenged myself more and more. I started to speak in bigger crowds, smaller crowds, and I started to get used to it. But I am still that man that will run out of BJ's or rush you out of BJ's and Costco. I challenge myself. I constantly challenge myself. Some will say that I put myself through things that I don't have to put myself through. But I'm that type of person that went from allowing life to put me in between two walls and bounce me around like a ball and do as it please. I needed to take back that control. I needed to start setting goals to challenge myself. The things that I feared to do. The things that I didn't want to do. But I knew that the things that I didn't want to do would take me to the next level. I had to challenge myself. And it was hard. I had setbacks. Listen, over the summertime, I was grinding. I was working out. I was 192 pounds. Doctor took me off of blood pressure medication. Somewhere along the line, I lost my focus. I lost my concentration. And I went right back up to 225. At the time, actually, the reason why I lost the pounds was 235. So I didn't reach the weight that I left. But I'm halfway back there. Over halfway back there. But I know what it takes. I know where I've been. I know what I've done to get me back to 192. But when I did it the first time, I didn't know. But I challenged myself. I went out there and I started running. First day that I went out there and I started running, I ran until I couldn't run no more. And that was like 2 blocks. Then I said, hey, you know what? What I'm going to do is I'm going to run for 5 minutes. I'm going to walk for 5 minutes. I'm going to run for 5 minutes. And I started to do that. And I started to increase my distance every single day. But what I would do is I would do that going down Coming back, I would walk back. That was my concentration. That was my time to bring myself down. That was my time to listen to my meditation music as I'm walking and enjoying the scenery. But within 3 months' time, I was able to run straight, non-stop, 10 miles. 10 miles in 3 months. Now, if any runners are out there listening, you know how hard it is to train. You know how hard it is to run a 5K for some of you guys. You professional runners out there, if you're listening. So you know the hard work that I had to do in order to be able to run that far within that amount of time. And it took discipline. I didn't have nobody knocking on my door telling me, hey, wake up in the morning, let's go. It was me. Me. And guess what? I was even asking people, hey, come out and run with me, come out and walk with me. Never showed up. I had a few friends that showed up maybe one time, maybe twice. But other than that, nope. And I didn't use that as an excuse to stop me. I didn't say, hey, you know what? I'm just going to not do it because nobody showed up. No, I kept on going. And I remember that day of success that I ran that 10 miles. I ran it from my apartment all the way down to the waterfront. All the way down to the waterfront. And I started calling people, I started texting people, I started sending pictures to people because I told people, I said, listen, I'm going to run 10 miles and I'm going to run to the waterfront. Now, I don't know if they believe me or not, but if you doubt me now, you will be a believer later. That's what I always say. You can doubt me now, but you will be a believer later on down in life. And this is the type of things that I've done to move past goal, to get myself started, to break through depression. Depression is something that's going to be there. It's just how you manage it. It's either going to control you or you're going to learn how to control it. But the journey to feeling better, the journey to addressing whatever mental health issues you were diagnosed with, is by challenging yourself, understanding yourself, reading more, surrounding yourself around positive influences. Before we cut, I want to talk about the whole positive influence thing because we spend too much time with people that we don't need to spend time with. Ladies and gentlemen, categorize your friends. If that's what you have to do, categorize your friends. I don't want to hear anything about you allowing other people to stop you from your success. That is not allowed. No one is allowed to stop you from your success. The only person that can stop you from your success is you. As my mentor says, if you were hanging around with 4 broke people, that's because you're the 5th broke person. You need to figure out who is in your circle that's 1 for you, that's 2 that can help you get to the next level, that's 3 going to be there from the start to the finish. Because you don't have no time while you're on your journey. Focus on taking yourself to the next level to worry about the people that's going to be around you, anchoring you and stopping you from your success. You don't have time for that. Categorize your friends. You have your friends that you go out and you have beers with. You have your friends that y'all in a book club with. You have your friends that are either speakers or gymnastics or whatever it is that you're into. But you have to control your village. Choose your tribe wisely. Because I'm telling you, a planted bad seed in a beautiful garden will ruin the whole garden. Until next time, world family, if you are on your journey and you fall, make sure you land on your back so you can look in the direction that you should be going back in. Les Brown said that, and I'm a firm believer. Peace.